Every time you speak, people instantly decide whether you're someone they can trust or someone they'll ignore. Leadership depends on communication. Even the best ideas lose their value if they aren't communicated clearly. The first habit that weakens executive presence is over-explaining. Many people believe they need to give every detail to be understood, but doing so often has the opposite effect. Speaking too much makes you appear uncertain rather than knowledgeable. Confident leaders don't try to convince everyone by talking more. They communicate the key point, trust that people understand, and move forward. Over-explaining usually comes from three things: wanting everyone to fully understand, feeling unsure about your own message, or becoming nervous when you don't get the reaction you expected. Instead of repeating yourself, pause and allow silence. Silence gives people time to process your words and makes your message carry more weight. A practical way to improve is to limit your speaking time. When you're forced to explain something in only a few minutes, you naturally focus on what matters most instead of filling the conversation with unnecessary details. Strong communication isn't about saying more, it's about saying the right things clearly. Part 2. The second habit that quietly weakens your executive presence is nervous body language. You might be saying all the right things, but if your body tells a different story, people will believe your body first. Communication isn't only about your words, it's also about how you carry yourself. Small habits like constantly playing with your hair, tapping your fingers, biting your nails, shifting your weight, or avoiding eye contact can make you appear unsure of yourself. Most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing these things, but everyone else notices them. Confident leaders move differently. Their posture is steady, their gestures are intentional, and they don't try to fill every second with motion because they're comfortable being still. A simple change can make a huge difference. Stand tall, keep your shoulders relaxed, maintain eye contact, and use your hands only when they help emphasize a point. Slow movements naturally create the impression of confidence and control. Remember, people don't just listen to your message, they watch how you deliver it. The third habit is waiting for permission instead of taking ownership. Many people believe leadership begins with a title, but that's not true. Leadership starts the moment you decide to solve problems instead of waiting for someone else to do it. Whenever a team lacks direction, most people stay silent and hope someone steps up. Great leaders do the opposite. They organize the work, make decisions, and create clarity even when nobody asked them to. Think about any successful leader you've worked with. Chances are they didn't wait for permission before taking responsibility. They saw what needed to be done and acted. People naturally trust those who create certainty during uncertainty. When you're willing to make decisions, take responsibility for the outcome, and help others move forward, people begin to see you as someone worth following. Leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to take the first step when everyone else is waiting. Part 3. The fourth habit that weakens executive presence is avoiding difficult conversations. Nobody enjoys uncomfortable discussions, but avoiding them almost always creates bigger problems. Every time you ignore an issue, avoid giving honest feedback, or stay silent when something needs to be addressed, people notice. They may never say it to your face, but little by little, their respect begins to fade. Strong leaders understand that honesty builds trust. They don't start arguments or criticize people unnecessarily, but they also don't pretend problems don't exist. They approach difficult conversations with respect, clarity, and confidence because they know that solving problems is part of leadership. Sometimes the hardest conversation is the one that creates the biggest breakthrough. Whether it's giving constructive feedback, setting boundaries, or addressing poor performance, people respect leaders who are willing to say what others avoid saying. The fifth habit is being emotionally inconsistent. If your attitude changes every day depending on your mood, people will never know what version of you they're going to get. One day you're encouraging, the next day you're frustrated over small things. That unpredictability makes it difficult for others to trust your leadership. Great leaders know how to manage their emotions, especially during stressful situations. They stay calm under pressure, make thoughtful decisions instead of emotional ones, and create a sense of stability for the people around them. People don't expect leaders to be perfect, they expect them to be reliable. At the end of the day, executive presence isn't about having the loudest voice, the biggest personality, or the most impressive title. It's about becoming someone others naturally trust and respect. Remove the habits that make you appear uncertain. Speak with clarity instead of over-explaining. Replace nervous movements with confident body language. Stop waiting for permission and start taking ownership. Face difficult conversations instead of avoiding them. And above all, stay consistent even when things get challenging. When you make these small changes consistently, you'll notice something interesting. People will pay closer attention to what you say. They'll trust your decisions more, and they'll begin to see you as a leader long before you ever receive the title.